This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee. I am Lance Mckinnon, and I'm here today. Tiffany, is Tiffany here today? I know you last couple Saturdays you've been out picking in your flowers. Your flower garden looks wonderful, by the way. But good
I
morning.
have been here, Mr. Lance. I am trying to tend to my garden, thank you, and the weeds grow like crazy, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
I know. I just take your vegetables and let you deal with all the weeds and everything like that. But good morning. It's good to see you again. This lovely Saturday. We got some nice weather. Is it just you and I today?
Oh my goodness. So, now that I'm back and not gardening anymore, we decided we have to bring someone that has such an amazing story to share with us today. So, his name is Mark Kageyama, and I am going to let him. Obviously, we want to say hi and everything. Lance, I know you have a lot of things to say, but his story is just so inspiring and amazing, and I cannot wait for him to share it because you share it like no one else does. So, good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Mark.
Hello,
And
Lance and
we,
Tiffany.
yes,
Thank you
and
so
we
much
know
for
it's
having me.
yes, thank you. And we know it's super early because we're calling you all the way from California. So we especially appreciate you up this early. But as Tiffany had mentioned, your story is absolutely remarkable. And I think everybody in the world needs to hear it. And that's why, we're here today. I'm not going to steal your thunder. I don't think anybody can. But I'll let you go ahead and just dive into it. And I just tell you, folks who are following Saturday Morning Coffee, with everything going on in the world right now, we need love, peace, and kindness. And Mark's story is so inspirational. And we all need to take a page from his book and actually live it. And because we really are in some difficult times now, and we all need to come together. And so I won't steal any more of Mark's thunder, but Mark, please share with us.
Thank you so much. As Tiffany mentioned, my name is Mark Kageyama, and I'm a stage 4 cancer patient with prostate, bone, and lung cancer. And I've been battling cancer for, well over a year and a half now. I was originally started dealing with it in late 2020. And it's been a crazy experience to say the least. And I wouldn't wish cancer on anyone. But that being said, cancer has changed my life for the better. I've learned so much. I've been associated with amazing people such as Lance and Tiffany here, and so many others. And cancer, I'll say this much: cancer is very complex, and I really didn't know that much about it until I got it, and I started, experiencing just what I call inhumane medical procedures. So what happened was one day in late 2020, all of a sudden out of the blue, I was working out religiously 4 to 5 times a week. I was in great shape, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I wasn't able to walk, and it just struck me that there was something really wrong. And so I went to one of my doctors, and he patched me up in such a way that I was able to at least uh, get around on a limited basis. And I started doing a deep dive into my health. And when they say that your health is everything, believe it. Absolutely believe it, because if you don't have your health, everything else becomes null and void. Your health uh, if you have your health, you could battle today so that you could be in the game tomorrow. So that was kind of the approach that I had. What I started doing was um, once I got diagnosed, and that was a crazy story in itself, because my oncologist called my wife and I into her office. And by that time, I had come to the conclusion that something was really wrong, because she was putting me through test after invasive test. And to be honest, all I could think about was, wow, how in the world did somebody think of these inhumane procedures to do on another human being? That,
Mhm.
that to me is crazy, because I've been through MRIs and CAT scans and and bone scans and lung scans and bone biopsies, lung biopsies. I mean, you name it, I've had it. I've had catheters, and on and on and on. But anyway, my oncologist called my wife and I into her office and to give a diagnosis to us. And I'll never forget the look on her face, because she said, uh, I'm going to come out straight and tell you, you have cancer, and your cancer is so bad that I can't cure you. And I said, okay. But what that did was it triggered in my mind my plan. And my plan, um, I've been blessed to uh, to have been guided by God for um, my plan. And so what I started doing was I started reaching out to cancer patients and cancer survivors, and um, people who dealt directly with cancer, because I wanted to hear it from the source. I didn't want to hear it from somebody who was trying to sell me something or had a program, and because there's tons and tons of those. But I wanted to talk to people who had been there and done that. And that's proven to be miraculous, to be honest with you, because uh, I'm so thankful to be associated with the people that have come into my life that have helped me. And basically, I've been so fortunate to be surrounded with the right people, and the right people have made all the difference in the world. When 2021 started, I set my goal as to, my goals were not very far in advance, and they were very basic to me. But the main goal I set at the beginning of the year was I wanted to be able to open my eyes on my birthday, which um, is in early June. So it's coming up very, very shortly. So on that particular day, on my birthday, I opened my eyes and I was so happy. I was so thrilled that I had made it to my birthday, and I was just ecstatic. And because when the year started off last year, I didn't know if I was going to live a couple of months, 3 months, a year. I had no clue. I had no idea. And at that particular time, at the beginning of last year, I was very weak. Right now, I weigh 160. At that time, I was down to the low 120s. And for a man who was working out like crazy, and I was up as high as 180, but it was a lot of muscle, and because I was in really, really good shape. So I was very, very weak. And it was a very, very uh, difficult situation, because I didn't know. I had no idea. I had no idea what the future was going to hold. So for me to be able to open my eyes on my birthday, that was very, very special. And I have so many people to thank, and including my wife, my two daughters, my sister, my mother. I mean, so many people have taken a part to help me. And as a cancer patient, as a stage 4 cancer patient, you cannot do it by yourself. You need help. And the crazy thing about cancer is when it comes knocking at your door, you can't say, hey, come back another day. I don't have time. When cancer knocks on your door, you have to answer, and you have to respond, and you have to act, and you have to move, because your life depends on it. I mean, your life, it's critical. And people need to realize that when they get a cancer diagnosis, that doesn't mean just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. There's no time for that. So that was one of the things, another thing that was embedded in my mind once I got my diagnosis was I decided that every single day, that no matter what the day was going to bring, that I was going to be positive, and I was going to be happy about that day. So every single day that I wake up, that I open my eyes, I am so thankful for to be able to open my eyes and experience a new day, um, because I mean, that literally is everything, to have the opportunity to experience another day and
Yeah,
appreciate.
and I just want to say, I'm thankful that you're still here today with us. And I don't want to interrupt, but just, a quick dive into this is that we have so many people in today's world who are just zooming by and saying, I hate today. I hate Monday. I hate, I'm turning 30. I hate the idea of turning 40. Here you are saying, I want to wake up one more day. And nobody ever says that. I thank the good Lord that He allows me to wake up every day to serve in the kingdom. And then at the night, I said, thank you again for allowing me to make it through the whole day, because we don't know the hour or the day. um, you know, and but here you are in what I would say the 11th hour of your life, you know, um, and your God has given you this plan to awake other people, and that is truly remarkable, and it's so heartfelt. And I mean, I'm kind of lost for words, because I know that with everything going on in life, and people are not appreciating what they have to understand this is our temporary home, you know, and but you're a little bit closer, to the eternity, and you started some foundations. Can you talk to us about some of the foundations, and talk about people sleepwalking through life?
Yes, thank you, Lance. So when I started my cancer journey, uh, I didn't see any blueprint for it, or what to do. Um, but I did a lot of deep thinking as to formulating how I was going to move forward. And there's so many things that were happening, especially at the beginning, because uh, my weeks were inundated with medical procedures. I was at the medical facility, or the hospital, in those early days, early months. I was there at the facility probably between 2 and as many as 5 times a week. And so it was a situation where, uh, every single day something was going on, and it's tough. Those medical procedures are really, really tough, and they're, uh, and I've come to learn that, I would just take each procedure as itself, nothing. I wasn't looking ahead too far. I was just taking one at a time. And yeah, I had a friend of mine. It's funny. I had a friend of mine. She was saying, I am scared to death to get a blood test. And I was just in my mind. I was chuckling because it was like, that's like the least of my problems. That's like that. I can do a blood test every day if I had to. That's
sign,
not a
sign
big
me
deal.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was telling her about some of my procedures, and she said, I'm going to just shut up because I, I'm embarrassed now because of, what you're telling me and what you're going through. So at the beginning of my journey, uh, friends and family were, and I really, really appreciate it. Friends and family were so concerned that I was getting calls morning, noon, and night every single day. And after a week of that, I was telling my daughters and my sister, I said, man, this is not sustainable. This is just, I can't keep doing this, because I was on the phone with each person for a half an hour to an hour a piece. And, multiply that out over a day, and you can see where your week just goes, just being on the phone. So we decided to start a Caring Bridge uh, uh, page, website. And Caring Bridge is specifically for people with uh, medical afflictions. So it's really good. So I was able to put what was going on in my life with cancer in one spot, and people would just go to that spot and they would get up to date information. Because what was happening was people were getting upset at me because they felt that I was holding back information, and they didn't realize that yesterday's news was old news today, because I was having so much done every single day of the week. And
Mhm.
so by setting up the Caring Bridge site, that helped alleviate so much um, from my daily pressures. And then I was talking to my daughter Lisa, who had stayed with me for 2.5 months last summer, and I said, "Hey, do you know how to set up a YouTube channel?" She said, "Well, I could figure it out." And so I said, "Yeah, I'd really like to set up a YouTube channel." And so she helped me set it up, and my YouTube channel is called To Be Your Own Hero. And I came up with that name because whenever we have medical situations, uh, or anything in life, actually, uh, we have to advocate for ourselves, because nobody's going to care more about you than you, right?
Absolutely.
And so that name came to me, and so I've been real happy to set up my YouTube channel. I've been doing it now for about a year and a half, and I've just had the absolute privilege and honor to meet people all over the world, and hear incredible stories of triumph. I just posted an interview this past week with a woman named Juanita Prada, who got cancer at the age of 10. And now she's 30. So, I mean, incredible, incredible story of triumph. And as bad a cancer as I have in three areas, uh, there's always somebody else who's dealing with more no in
Mhm.
the world, no matter what, because there's just so much out there, and I marvel, and I'm so blessed and honored to be able to connect with this community, because there's some of the most wonderful people that have ever come into my life, and I appreciate
And that's absolutely wonderful. And we want to be able to share that with everybody too, because you know, there's like you said, there's so many people that are struggling with it and don't know where to go, and and you're not alone. Um, and like you said, and not even just for cancer, mental health. Uh, this is a big thing right now. You're not alone. We're very fortunate, like as yourself, but we've had Bruce Killian on our show. He's in Florida, who's a cancer survivor, as well as Liam Ryan, all the way from Ireland, and we discussed Liam earlier, his story of and he just celebrated 20 years, of it. And I don't know if you've had him on the show yet, but God willing, we can connect you two together. Both remarkable stories. But what I think you're doing is it's got to be difficult, but yet you rewarding in a way because God is using you. Like I said, we go through life wondering, what's our plan, what's our purpose, and in your life you were successful, and you go through, and here we are, and what seems would to be an unfortunate thing, but it's a way that you're going to help so many more people in your 11th hour. Um, it's I don't know how to describe the word as bittersweet. Somebody always has to go before us, and and what you're doing is absolutely brave and courageous, and your legacy will live long um, after God has called you home. Through this foundation that you created.
it. As we've mentioned here, we don't know when we're going to go. All of us are going to go at some point, and we don't know when. I am hoping that I am here for a long time, because there's so much that I would like to do, that I have a need to do, and I that's my purpose. I am one of the things that I talk about on my channel is uh, just making the most out of every single day. Uh, I mean, don't waste time. Time is the most precious commodity that we have. And that's why, no matter what, millionaires, billionaires, uh, poor people, it doesn't matter. We all have the same amount of time. And so that being said, it's just a matter of how we use our time. Are we wasting our time? Are we uh, benefiting others with our time? And so that's one of the things that I am so steadfast about talking about on my channel is for people to you know take stock of their life as soon as they can possibly can, and appreciate uh, just how blessed that they are. For you to have your health is so huge. It is absolutely so huge. I was so sick at one point last year, early 2021, that I didn't leave my room for almost 3 months. And that gives you a tremendous perspective of life. I was so weak at one point, it took me 10 minutes to walk across the room. It took me 20 minutes to a half an hour just to take a shower. So for me now, at that point, I was barely able to walk across the room. I had to use a cane. And as we speak today, I went to the park this morning and walked up and down the hills for about a mile and a quarter, uh, which a year ago was impossible. I just couldn't do it. So I've made it a point to exercise every day and try to improve my situation, my physical health every single day. And I've gotten so much better. Um, my prostate cancer, when I was originally diagnosed, my PSA was around 1,000. Today, it is down to zero point 0.9. My lung cancer was so bad, I saw a live scan of my lungs, and it's supposed to be two white globes. And my cancer, I had black blobs floating around in my lungs. It was so bad. I saw that with my own two eyes, and now my lung cancer is almost healed as well. I'm still dealing with bone cancer to a lesser extent, but I know that's going to get better too because of all the things that I do. But yes, I'm just so thankful for just the people that I've been surrounded with, for the help that I've gotten. But most importantly, it's the belief that I was going to be okay. And once I made my birthday last year, I knew things were going to be so much better. I knew I was going to make it. In fact, today I know I'm going to be around for a long time. How long that may be, I don't know. But I intend to be here because I have so much to do and so many things to accomplish, and so many people that I want to be around. I want to be here. I'm gonna live. So
Yeah,
you're
you have
you're gonna
a you have a God has a plan for you. That's for sure.
yes.
And like I said, it's very, like I said, we're very honored to be able to have this opportunity to have you on here, because like we talked about earlier, life, you know, is precious. And as bad as some things are, you know, there, like you said, there's somebody off that are worse, and we really have to come together, or there, and I say that now more than ever, is that we need to come together as a family, as neighbors, as friends, as strangers, um, because we all need each other uh, to survive, or we're going to fall apart as individuals. And it's, again, I'm not usually one lost for words, but I'm always about, and Tiffany will say, it's like, what is your legacy? What is your dash? And and mine is, you know, uh, I want to impact. I want to sow as so many seeds into people's lives that I possibly can, throughout the world. And I say to God, use me uh, to help others that I may not even know. And Tiffany says the same. I know as well too. And and that's why we do Saturday morning uh, podcast, because it's all about inspiration. It's all about perspective. And everybody is walking around with an invisible backpack, and you know what? And it's okay to ask for help. and because we're not alone. And when we feel like we're alone, that's when that despair comes in. And and like I said, you probably had that. You had probably more opportunities than most to say, "Hey, I don't want to fight anymore." Yeah, but you had a great support system around you. But like I said, but I really want to direct people, to your YouTube station because it's larger than life, and we never know who we're impacting. Um, but that's the thing, and that's why God has this truly amazing plan that He's using you um, through unnecessary force. You probably was like, well, He could use me with a little less pain and suffering. Yeah, or maybe He could have chose something else. The plant in people's lives, but but that means but that's where it comes in. I can do all things if God strengthens me, and that's exactly what He's doing, through you. And I know I've talked a lot, and I know Tiffany has a question,
I
but
don't have a question. No, no, no. I honestly, I didn't say a lot because Mark, your story and what you were sharing was so powerful that I just wanted to keep hearing you share all the nuances of what you've experienced. And I have to say, I know I didn't get a chance to tell you, but I work in the healthcare field. And so I'm not sure how familiar you are with dialysis patients, but a lot of times when patients hear about their diagnosis, there's a lot of denial in that. And so I was going to ask you, did you ever go through any of those pieces? I know we're toward the end here, but I will say you really took charge of your health. Obviously, you were in charge of your health before you got that diagnosis, but you never let it get you down, completely down. You knew that you wanted to fight and you fought against cancer. You pulled in your resources. You reached out to those who knew it better, so that you could be the best you could be when you were fighting through all of this. And so it's extremely important to have support systems, support groups. Definitely something that we talk about with our patients. And like Lance was saying, mental health, it's an amazing thing to be able to have others who've been through it and can give you insights how to survive. And so I feel so connected to you in a way, and I'd love to hear more about your story. I know Lance and I both are going to be hopping on to watch all of your YouTube podcasts that you put out there. Just amazing story. And I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you. So keep fighting, keep making a difference. I know you're inspiring so many by how you are really taking charge of your life in this and knowing that every day you're thankful for what this has given you, despite, like you said, these inhumane procedures that we have on this earth. Who knows who made them? But yes, thank you, Mark.
And I just want to say, Mark, too, is again, Tiffany said it pretty well there, and we know it's busy, so it's Saturday when we don't want to take a lot of your time, but we want to really we wanted to just bring attention to your podcast, to your YouTube station. We want to allow all of our followers to know, you're not alone. And I've gone and I've looked at, some of the things. It's very, very the information. I can't describe it. You have to go there yourself to see it. The support system. Um, but what I wanted to say is that, you know, people today should take a page out of your book and live like you're dying, and literally, and just bring joy and peace and happiness every single day. What would and I'm just gonna kind of some closing remarks to say what would Mark say to all of our Saturday morning followers who are lost, stuck, struggling, mental illness, whatever it may be. Like what would be your motto to say? to keep fighting, to be that inspiration for others.
I think one of the things that I do talk about on my channel is the mindset. Having a positive mindset every single day. And a positive mindset just does not happen by itself. It's intentional. And, I talk about, um, the importance of feeding the body good food, organic food, and food that, uh, instead of the burgers and the chips and the, things that are not good for you, feed your body good stuff. But that being said, it's so important for a person to feed the mind good food as well. And I feed my mind good stuff every single day. And people don't realize the importance of that, especially in today's crazy, divisive world that we live in. There's just so much negativity, and it's so important that we put good things. Our minds are like computers. Our minds accept whatever we program it to be. So if we're feeding our mind just negative, 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 then that's what's going to come out is negative thoughts, negative actions, things that aren't beneficial to us as human beings. So that's why it's so important to feed your mind positive things on a regular basis. I feed my mind as many times as I can during the day, um, because it is that important. I do also work with hypnotherapists. I work with every single aspect of human life in order to benefit me and others in the cancer journey, because it's that complex. There's medical, there's diet, there's feeding the mind, there's all these different things that add up to a cancer journey, and actually a successful life journey. And that's what's so important, is just uh, life. So many people are under the assumption that life just happens, and in my opinion, the more we can control the things that go into our mind and come out of our mind and come out of our mouths and go into our mouth, the better off that we'll be as people, because we are very, very complex, and we all have uh, individual complex needs. And the more that we could um, infuse positive things and things that are good, the better off that we'll be. And I, I I apologize for always giving this long explanation of
No,
a simple question.
no, I'm long-winded too, and I couldn't find you know, a better way to, to wrap it up. Like I said, iron sharpens iron. Um, you know, Positive energy. Surround yourself with people that are going to sharpen you. I believe in the same thing. If you want to be around people that are going to lift you up, be there for you. Nobody wants to be around a dull knife, and not
That's
unless
right.
you're falling on it. But in other words, but no, but I understand where it's all about the energy. It's about the diet, and we've had a lot of guests on here that have talked about that. But that's a great way to sum it up. And I really wanted to say thank you very much, Mark, and God bless you. And that God has blessed us all another day, and hopefully another evening, and another tomorrow, to be able to do this journey together. And it's just truly remarkable. And I just want to say it's been an honor to have you on our show, and we'll make sure that all of our followers and listeners know directly where to go to follow Mark and continue to watch your journey because I still believe that God's got a lot of you. You have a lot of work to do yet. He's not
Oh,
done.
yes.
He's not finished with you yet. So
No,
I just want
not
to
even
say,
close.
no, I want to say, so thank you for joining us on Saturday Morning Coffee. And we truly are blessed and honored to have you here, Mark. And we look forward to following you and having better days. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate you both.